Well, welcome back to the Frenzy as we head back to Adams County for York Tech and Littlestown. Defensive battle to start. Nothing. Almost 10 minutes into the first. York Tech punt return. Well, it's muffed, and Littlestown's on the ball quick. Nolan Crisper sets it up. The Bolts are in great field position. The drive's finished off with a handoff to Logan Conaway right here from short distance, and he plunges in for 6 points. It puts the Bolts up 7-0 because they get the extra point. York Tech responds on the next drive. The offense starts to cook a little bit. Great pass from sophomore QB Cole Bisker finds Ethan Farrell for the 20-yard gain. They keep on driving, and then they're within the 10. Bisker spots an open receiver, and he's on target, but it's a missed extra point. The Spartans would pull within one. The Bolts then stretch it out in the end. Your final is 21-6 to Littlestown. A lot of change in the offseason for the Trinity Shamrocks. Credit to new coach Kevin Yarnovich for keeping things steady. The Rocks are off to a solid 3-1 start. Let's get right to the action. The Spartans with the inside handoff to Rayleigh Lexus Morales Monzon. He darts to the outside and won't let up until he's in the end zone for 6 for Milton. Hershey caps the drive for the visitors. How does the team answer? Not by going with the inside handoff. They go with the pitch around the outside to Christian Joy. It's just as effective. Joy takes it into high gear right there. Once he's in the open field, and he's going to hit pay dirt. Give him 6. And he celebrates with the student section at the end. Then the Rocks will take flight. Look at this gorgeous throw from Mason Boyer. It's going to land right into the hands of the receiver, Maddox Jarzinski, in stride, just past the defender. Spectacular touchdown, pitch and catch. Shamrocks move to 4-1. 35-25 is the final score. And when you're naming the best rivalries in Pennsylvania, you can't have the conversation without talking about Cumberland Valley and Central Dauphin. If their debate teams went face-to-face, it would probably get a little chippy. Evan Brooks was in Dauphin-County for another chapter of this great rivalry.
Yeah, Todd, while both Cumberland Valley and CD have had their growing pains this season, as usual, you can throw out the records when it comes to these two getting together. The Rams have pieced together back-to-back wins after dropping their first two, and Cumberland Valley is looking to end that right there. Points hard to come by in this one. Check out Garcia. Kamani comes through for the Rams and gets the big tackle in the backfield to keep points off the board. Central Dauphin will get a try, and it will be the same result. A host of Eagles in the backfield to break through the line of scrimmage. CV would lead 7-0. And the cheerleaders are begging for points. They would get it late in the fourth. Andrew Rice lines it up from 31 yards out, knocks it through. The Rams will be in hurry-up mode from there. Gavin Kirkpatrick in the red zone rolls left, doesn't find anyone who uses his legs to take it in for the first CD points of the night. That cuts the lead to just 3. Last-ditch effort for the Rams. Jamari Robinson-Bell looks to make a big play for the walk-off touchdown, but he is shut down by the Eagles' special team unit. Cumberland Valley improves to 3-2 with a 10-7 win. The Harrisburg Cougars band is always ready to rock across the Susquehanna. It's been a tough stretch of opponents for Cedar Cliff, and tonight it's Harrisburg. The Cougars start fast. First play, Deion Lewis swings it out to Penn State commit Messiah Mickens. From there, it's straight speed. He hits the Jets, gets all the way into Colts territory. On the very next snap, the Cougars go up top. Lewis drops a dime in the bucket to Elias Cope, 34 yards for the touchdown, and just like that, it's 7-0 Harrisburg. On the ensuing drive, the Cougars will go back to work. Lewis tries to scramble, but he is stopped in his tracks by a host of Colts to keep it at 7. That would lead to this. Cedar Cliff within striking distance. Ben Seacrest looks and fires off his back foot in the end zone. Amarian Autry comes down with it, and it's all tied at 7. That wouldn't last long, though. The Cougars right back to their bread and butter. Lewis hits Mickens again, makes one nice move, and turns on the speed for the score. Harrisburg gets the win. 28-20 is the final. Down 83 to York County. Red Lion and York meet up at Smalls Field. Pick it up in the third quarter. Red Lion on the move. Mason Hollenshed finds his man Jeremiah Morales wide open for the touchdown. Finds Pater, and that cuts into the Bearcats' lead. The Lions will go for 2 and get it, and that makes it 36-14. To the fourth quarter we go. York High trying to seal it. Quarterback Najee still looks and passes to his number 1 target, Mr. David Wardy. He avoids some tackles, extends the play to put York within striking distance. The cheer team says to keep it going. Then if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Still finds his man again. This time it's Wardy again, wide open in the end zone. With the catch and score, York High eases past Red Line. 50-14 is the final.
Now, inevitably, there are some long bus rides when you play in the Mid-Penn Commonwealth Division. For CD East, they load up early and head for Toontown. The Altoona student section was there to greet them, but CD East silenced them fairly often. Dimaj Jallo with a dart over the middle to Santana Young, and he's got some room. He is eventually pulled down, but not before picking up 41 yards on third down, moving the Panthers into the red zone. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Another third down conversion from Jallo to Young. Any QB will tell you, you have to spread it around. Jallo finding Demir Maxwell to cap the drive with a 9-yard touchdown as East takes a 7-0 lead. That's all the Panthers would need, as their defense did not allow any points, but the offense, they scored a lot more for good measure. East is 5-0 with the 34-0 victory.
Well, thanks to the high school camera crew at Carlisle High School, we have Bishop McDevitt and the Thundering Herd. Crusaders go on the offensive. Stone Saunders checks down to Maurice Barnes, who takes off. McDevitt is the first on the board. Saunders is moving closer to the state record for the most career passing touchdowns. This will help as he goes looking for Gage Ruth. And his fingertip catch makes it 14-0. They've gotten the job done through the air. Now McDevitt looks to ground and pound. Nazir Jones-Davis scampers in from 16 yards out. The Crusaders cruise 56-7.
We're heading back to Berks County for Cedar Crest at Wilson. The Dogs are up 14-0, but the Falcons have plenty of fight. Isaiah Zimmerman breaks a tackle at the line, and then he finds a whole lot of running room. He's looking for any blocks he can. The stiff arm gets him 10 more yards before he's pulled down at the 1-yard line. But on 4th and goal, the Bulldogs get in the backfield. They would stuff the Cedar Crest Falcons and hold them scoreless. The Birds get on the board in the second quarter. Jackson Custer gets it to Cameron Torado in the flat. He makes a nice move and is in for 6. The Falcons are finally on the board, now down just by 7, but that's as close as they get as Wilson edges Cedar Crest 14-7 is the final score.
And if you missed any of this week's action or you want to see the highlights again, we've got you covered. Just head to fox43.com/HSFF. We've got everything you're looking for when it comes to high school football in South Central PA, including complete season schedules for your favorite teams. A couple other sports notes to pass along. The War of the Roses in the Atlantic League semifinals. The two-time champion Stormers won't go away that easily. They beat the Revs in York tonight 10-3. Revolution still in control, up 2-1 with Game 4 tomorrow at 6:30. Phillies have clinched at least a playoff berth. They are close to locking down the NL East division title. And that wraps up week number 5.
Wraps up week number 5. Another big week ahead as we inch closer to the playoffs.
Yeah, halftime here of the regular season. And as usual, this is where we tell you which high school teams are going to play on Saturday. But we actually don't have any Saturday high school games. So we all get to sleep in once we all leave here at 1:30 maybe.
That sounds about right. Sleeping in. Now, while the high school teams have the weekend off, Penn State returns from their bye week. Nittany Lions will host Kent State for a 3:30 p.m. kickoff. For more on the matchup, check out Nittany Game Week at 9 a.m. For the entire Frenzy crew, thanks for watching. This late edition of Fox 43 News continues after the break.